I mean, you don't like to look in the past, right? Maybe UNC last year felt like, hey, it was a lost season. But was it? Like, this team grew up. I mean, this is still one of the youngest teams in the country, but they've learned how to win on the offensive defensive end.
In goal for North Carolina, Michael Gianfrancaro, a captain, a Princeton transfer. He stood on his head in the fourth quarter in Carolina's win at Duke. Now McAdory, guarded by Prohashka. Kirschus, who has yo-yoed between attack and midfield this season, a five-star freshman. And that shot finds the back of the net. Tomas Delgado getting the start on the first midfield. Matt, his trademark is that outside hammer.
Hey, look, it seems to be the right call by Coach Danowski. Delgado played great last week against the Cavaliers. And right here, you can see why they inserted him into the starting lineup. Just a quick release, right? Gianfrancaro never saw that release. Deception, the most important part of an effective shooter.
Entering the game, North Carolina with an RPI of 6. Duke at 8. You get the sense the winner tonight has the inside track to a first round home game. Loser might be going on the road. Selection Sunday this Sunday. That shot is wide to the left. McAdory will dig it out. Second midfield now on for Duke. 32 in black. Chris Cusalito, Providence transfer. McAdory, turbine, shoots and scores. Duke's got some juice early.
Duke 2 for 2 on the offensive end. McAdory in his last ACC tournament as a Blue Devil with the nice fake shot spin and the left-handed release. Just perfect footwork.
Engelke and Wambach, the new battle at the face-off X. Wambach wins it for UNC. First possession for the Tar Heels. Harshbarger, a freshman, can shoot on the run. His pass inside is knocked away. Rolling toward midfield, Salucci tries to shovel it back. I thought he might get called for over and back.
I think it was a Duke deflection that knocked it over, so it took the over and back out of play. But here comes Eden McGuire in transition.
McGuire, and a save by Gianfrancaro, his first. First midfield, Harshbarger, Suchek, a couple of freshmen. And this is Ty English. We saw his brother Sam for Syracuse earlier. Harshbarger feeding the crease. Matt. Charlie Johnson gave him the business. Menendez gets it back to Jamison. Able to draw the flag. Duke with a free possession. There comes Delgado. 1 goal already after a couple in the Virginia game last week. Has 3 goals all season. Here comes Johnston. Spins it back. Max Sloat, shot on the run. 3-zip Duke.
This is a Duke team that on the offensive end has really shifted the point of their attack towards the midfield. Max Sloat, a redshirt junior here. Again, look, you have Johnson drawing out. Does this not look like Brennan O'Neill with that sweeping to his left, dropping his hand down? It's this unique move right here, right? Drops it down, hides the stick from Gianfrancaro.
He had a front row seat to O'Neill's play at Duke for a couple of years. Wambach getting tangled up with Engelke, and Duke able to win a face-off. Held without a goal in ACC play. Marked by Drew Scott, who spent a few years playing football at TCU. Not much of an angle. Gianfrancaro springs out of the cage. Oliver trying to hunt him down. Go. Ashheim will start the clear.
Shot, they have not been able to crack the code of this Blue Devils defense. If you look at Duke's defense, right? I mean, what they've done against the ACC outside of Notre Dame, right? 8, 7, 9 goals. Like, who's playing better than them on the defensive end of the field right now?
Suchek saved Jamison. Best look by far for Carolina. Johnson dumps it up ahead. Working on Ashheim.
It's a good time to dodge here for Delgado.
Delgado against the short stick Hagerup. There's Johnston working on the freshman Salucci. Johnston whistles one wide. It stays with Duke, 17 to shoot. Delgado from the outside, his second, 4-0. It's been all Duke.
All Duke here on both sides of the field as they take a 4-0 lead. Jamison in the cage here with the point blank stop inside, gets Duke another possession, and then miscommunication by the Tar Heels on defense, and Delgado makes him pay with his second. We were the #1 seed. We played Notre Dame in the first round. It was the hardest team we played. It was the closest game we had effectively all year. And I was like, wait, what? How did that just happen, right? So you never know, and every win matters, and that home game is such an important piece.
Duffy's bouncer is saved by Jamison. Duffy has now missed his last 19 shots. That's going back to the first Duke game where he scored on the first goal. On the first shot, has not scored since.
I mean, Duke defensively keeping North Carolina out of the middle of the field, out of prime scoring opportunities. Like, they'll give that shot up all day, every day as a defense.
UNC coming off a win against Syracuse. Petramala gets the heels on the board.
Dom Petramala with his 44th goal of the season. I mentioned earlier, he only hits the cage 50% of his shots. But if he hits it, it goes in almost the majority of the time. And right here, this goal where you're struggling to create offense, pick it up and push in transition as they cause the turnover. And then Duffy with the big skip, and then just like, oh, you know what, casual low to high, flick of the wrist. Near side high. I'm okay with him keep firing away.
The only lefty on the field that's got a harder release is not suited up for Duke tonight. That's Brennan O'Neill, who played last year. Low shot, another save by Jamison. Seeing it well early. Against Virginia, gets an opportunity, scores 2 goals, puts up 2 more in the first half today.
Hey, my guess is that opportunity is going to continue.
I would think.
Yeah, I mean, he's just a horse. Like, I mean, he's an awesome player. He has been since the moment he stepped on campus in Durham.
Slow shot, stopped. Gianfrancaro, the quick outlet. Let's see if Carolina runs. Hagerup kicks it ahead. Scoops.
And that's the one thing I think Duke's adjusting to, right? Where you're getting a lot more initiation from the midfield, a lot more shots from the outside. That leaves you wide open to counterattacks at North Carolina.
Petramala tried to sweep across, draws the flag. Ryan Levy picks it up, senior captain. He scored a goal in back-to-back games. This is going to be interesting. Duke does not want to get penalized. They are one of the worst man-down teams in the country.
It's interesting how that works, right? Like, one of the best defenses in the country, but one of the worst man down. When you have a good goalie, you know.
Duffy orchestrates from up top.
And UNC is looking for number 77 here.
Here comes Duffy. Over to Petramala. Tried the toe drag. It's dislodged. Loose ball. Picked up by the Blue Devils. Knocked back. And Henry Bard able to come up with it.
And I think that was the right play from Duffy, just a little sloppy on the exchange.
Hard-hitting safety closing in. Harshberger down the alley, stops on a dime, turns it over, picked off. .44 in black, that's Wilson. He'll play with a short stick and a long ball. Kraus, doorstep, shot, save!
Long stick to long stick. I mean, the skill.
There's Wertheim. Picked up by Gray, who's pretty good short stick in his own right. Now Duffy. That one's poked loose. Charlie Johnson was in there, another turnover.
Yeah, look, it for sure, you know, the ACC, for the most part, has kind of been the it conference in college lacrosse. I mean, yes, the Big Ten has made an impact. The Ivy's had its years, but the ACC has been the league with the most threats to win the national championship year in, year out. Lucky that they get the hold call there, making it a 30-second penalty, where to me it was a slash that should have been called.
Delgado's got 2 of the Duke 4. 7 in black. Against Drew Scott. There's a feed, shot, and it trickles in. Ben Johnston off the body of Gianfrancaro, who's upset with himself. And that is the first tally of this second quarter.
And if you look at Duke, right, all year it's been Sloat and Johnson, but Delgado to me has got the most explosive first step. And right here, the nice feed to Johnson, rips it righty, right off Gianfrancaro. 5-1 Blue Devils.
A few weeks ago, when North Carolina was playing Notre Dame, Matt, I had a young kid who was going through a tough time, lives in the Raleigh area. We brought him to the game. He went down on the field, and for no reason, Joe Bresci brought out a signed helmet from the entire team, handed it to that kid, made his day during a tough time.
Yeah, I mean, credit to Coach Bresci, and look, if you're a person choosing a school and a program to go to, like, you got to look what's more important than lacrosse. It's learning how to give back. It's learning to make an impact, and Coach Bresci has really instilled that in his unit and his team.
Big ground ball here. Matten able to shovel it back to Petramala. Again, these are the metrics the selection committee has used every year. We get into this. Well, why did this team get in? Why did this team get in? It's RPI based. Eye test doesn't count. Harshberger tried to wrap around. Jamison falling to the ground.
Bigger than it is right now.
I think the fun part of it for us is going to be we might have a chance to watch a tournament with a lot of chaos in the first couple of rounds.
How many straight years did Syracuse go to the Final Four?
22.
Never happening again, right? Like, I don't think we're getting to 4 or 5.
Low shot to score. 6-1 Duke. That's Graham Blake.
Duke putting it all together here tonight. Got his 4th goal in his last 5 games. And again, just like look at the difference in Duke's offense versus North Carolina. Duke's offense, they're all dodging off a ball movement, right? Like North Carolina is extending out to meet Blake, and then he's able to run by you. Versus when North Carolina is playing offense, it's all standing still, saying, hey, here I go.
The last 4 games, Duke's defense, they gave up 7 to Boston U, 8 in a loss to Carolina. They gave up 7 to Syracuse and 9 to Virginia. 4 straight opponents they've held below 10. Wertheim. And boy, Duke's defense has been ferocious. Now a flag.
That's a tough penalty. Look, it's going to be on Menendez. Right here. Wertheim's going to the ground. Right, good defense. He's fallen to the ground. I guess he has his hands up there by his head spread, but that's just a tough position. Living in Chicago, it's nice to see big-time recruits in the ACC from the Chicagoland area.
They tried to thread it. The ball was tipped. It comes to Jamison. Right now, Carolina's a mess. Well, McAdory's been quiet for Duke in this first half. Dusts his man, draws the slide, it comes back, shot saved, rebound turned away. One more chance and a goal. A hat trick for Delgado.
Gianfrancaro makes two amazing saves and just the relentless onslaught by the Blue Devils. Tomas Delgado with his first career hat trick in his first career start. Third time's the charm. Not only for his hat trick, but right here the shots that Gianfrancaro's facing. Save number one, save number two, and then Delgado gets the loose ball, keeps moving his feet.
6 shy of Luke Goldstock's single-season Tar Heels record. Johnson knocks that away from Duffy. McGuire turbos across the midline.
And look, there's certain matchups as an attackman you don't like.
McGuire shoots.
High, too high.
It's got some English on it. Battle of the Blues, and it comes to Duke. Wilson. And McAdory was dancing with Wertheim. Finally, Salucci came over on the switch. Delgado, the man of the hour, playing with confidence. Hat trick today. Dumps it back to X, feet in front, Mulliver slam dunk. 8-1 Duke.
Again, that possession all starts with that intense battle for the ground ball. And Kirsch, just a nice job drawing and baiting North Carolina behind the cage.
Engelke, the face-off. Dumps it to the wing, quick shot, high. Now, if you go in the vault, 2013 ACC Tournament Semifinal, Duke and Carolina, Matt, I don't know if you remember this game. UNC, with the great attack line of Bitter, Sankey, and Holman, had a 9-goal lead in the third quarter against Duke. Blue Devils go on an 11-1 run. Take the lead with about 6 minutes to go. Graham Blake makes it 9-1 here.
So you're saying that North Carolina has to give up 2 more?
Well, listen, Carolina falls behind as Duke goes on this massive run. Eventually, UNC wins the game 18-17. Marcus Holman scored the game winner. But the way this game is played out, there are no signs of a Carolina comeback. Graham Blake now with a couple of goals, and Duke, they've got Carolina like a marionette with a clipped string right now.
Yeah, they're not sure what to do, both offensively and defensively.
Johnston, McAdory, low to high, 10-1 Duke.
Just a clinic on offense. Can't draw it up any better for the Blue Devils. One hard dodge, draw the slide, move the ball through X. I mean, here again, this is Delgado being the party starter. The nice skip pass, the one more to McAdory. Low to high near side. This year, like, that experience for the midfield is invaluable, and now their strength, right? Like, their attack is definitely not up to par of what Duke attacks have been, but like, that's okay. All you have to do is find a matchup advantage somewhere in the field, and you could put up goals.
Yeah, you saw Dewey Egan that time having to force the shot. Carolina not generating anything. Boyer thought about it, face dodge, fires high. It made Paul Carcaterra very happy. All the Boyers are from Yorktown, his hometown. Cusalito. Papendick. Another one for Duke. Runaway train.
Duke just doing such a nice job catching every pass with their feet moving, right? Like, they're already running through North Carolina's defensemen at the moment of the catch. Right, 11-1, and Duke just putting it on the Tar Heels. And right there, Papendick catching with his feet moving, gets to his right hand, puts the 11th on the board for the Blue Devils. You ask people, like, how's it going, right? And you get lip service, oh, it's great, I'm doing well. And you're like, do I believe you're doing that? Coach didn't ask you, like, how are you doing? He's like, Matt, today's the best day of my life. Like, kids are getting there, you're like, God, I believe it. Like, he is such a motivator. He's such a good perspective on what's important and what's not. And his teams are always going to be playing their best across the end of the year.
McAdory. Dangerous pass. Duke keeps it. 15 to shoot. Duke has scored on 11 of its 26 shots. McAdory to the wing. Howitzer from Sloat.
Another assisted goal for Duke. Throwing passes 80 miles an hour, it seems like. Right on the money. Again, right there, Johnson draws the slide. McAdory zips the catchable pass over to Sloat. His strong left hand, look at the torque, the power.
Was 4 for 25 in ACC play. Ben Johnston was shooting 16% in his last 7 games. You get a game like this where you see the ball go in. What does that do for a shooter?
Look, shooter's going to shoot, but it's the confidence, right? Like, for me, like, there's games where I'm not shooting well. Like, I change sticks, I would do something.
Plus an exodus of
look,
2 senior classes.
Yeah, you're graduating a lot of bigger, older, athletic players, and so you have a lot of new faces. And to your point, like, you've missed some critical years with some of the younger players. As Ty English gets North Carolina its second goal. Now, I love his game. Look, he came to North Carolina. They were a little light on the deep midfield, so he did it all for them. He was on wings of faceoffs, D-midi. And this year they felt better about depth there. It's like, hey, Ty, we're gonna tap you on the shoulder to be the leader in our first midfield. A nice job getting his hands free.
Carolina went more than 31 minutes between goals. When you do everything right, the last line of defense, Patrick Jamieson, all ACC goalie. Levy maneuvering the crease, he stepped in. 4.4 to go. Full field pass.
They identified the matchups with Leo and with English to kind of create that one-on-one advantage and then do what they do best off ball. Great shooters, great finishers.
UNC won the face-off. They turn it over.
That is not Duke this year, right? Like, they're running 3 athletes out there in the midfield, and they're finding their way. They're still young players, right? And I do think the midfield is the biggest adjustment for young players to make. Like, I really think, like, a freshman attack can make an impact, or defense. It's the midi. Like, that takes a long time to find your way, because the hardest thing, in my opinion, as there's a big hit there, is outside shooting on the run from distance.
In cage, and here's the hit by English. That's clean.
Yeah, it looks like it could be like a hip pointer. Where did this come from?
Sometimes, again, you're looking for that missing piece, Matt, and Delgado, another stretch shooter. Might just be the last missing piece for Duke. Feet in front, behind the back, Kirschus. Wow.
Kirschus, the freshman. Just nice and patient on the inside. Look at that little step. Malver with the accurate pass right on the stick, and then behind the back. I mean, look, we're gonna get a great angle here. I mean, look, he goes near side high right into the upper corner. One fluid motion. Look at it, just one cradle, if that, in and out of his stick, right? How often do you see a quick stick behind the back?
One of the best high school players in the country, top 25. He's been coming on of late, too. ACC championship game Sunday.
But just look at this offense, right? It's like throwing it, like no one's running hard north-south, making passes. It's all cross, jam it to the middle. North Carolina needs to find their offensive flow again.
Duffy swims inside and scores. For Owen Duffy, that snaps an 0 for 21 shooting streak.
Scoreless in his last 2 games. Able to get it here. And Petromal with the dodge. And then the swim. And again, right here, the fearless approach to getting underneath, but then coming up the field, putting your body at risk.
There's Liam McClain. Shot clock at 10. Aiden Blake, crease feed. Molliver sneaks it in there.
What you're seeing too from Duke, right? It's like, all right, so they moved Delgado to the first midfield. And like maybe the pieces fit better in the second midfield now. Like, I mean, where is this coming from? Right? Blake having an impact in this game. Good ball movement again. You see here, right? Now North Carolina slides, and now the passing lane opens up for the people on the most dangerous parts in the field. And like again, like Duke has done a nice job. I think UNC maybe sliding a bit early.
And if Princeton were to beat Harvard, Princeton, should they win the Ivy League, I think that's going to be the top 3. They've kind of have sat atop the RPI most of the season. Maryland's got 7 wins against the RPI top 10. Nobody else comes close. You can point to losses to Michigan and Rutgers as Koopman gets a tally. But if Maryland beats Ohio State, that's going to be 8 top 10 wins. Harvard win against Princeton would be a certain RPI boost. You kind of get the sense Notre Dame could be going on the road in round 1. Low shot. That one trickles past Jamison. Andrew Price with the goal. And here's the other one. And this might be the doomsday scenario, but we're just thinking out loud in a 14-5 game. Should Notre Dame fall another spot? Let's say they get passed by Harvard if Harvard beats Princeton. And now Notre Dame's at 11. Army has stayed put at 12 despite a loss to Colgate in the Patriot League semis earlier today. An RPI top 5 win for Notre Dame, which means the Irish could rise.
Right.
It's all fluid. It's going to be interesting. Again, I think as Petromala puts one through, I think what's going to be fascinating for the committee is once they get past the top 3, how are you going to sort 4 through 8? And then what I think is going to give a lot of coaches angst. You get past 8. You only seed 8. Then geography determines the matchup. So, for example, let's say Richmond wins the A10. And he's surrounded by a pretty good supporting cast. Oliver's shot, that one's saved. Here comes Carolina, down by 8, 4.5 to go. That one missed. Hagerup. This is now 5 straight opponents they've held below 10 goals. Defense was never the question. Charlie Johnson, Henry Bard, Aiden McGuire, Jack Gray. That one finds the back of the net. Nick Dupuis, first goal in 7 games for the Stony Brook and UMBC transfer. But if Duke can bottle up this offense with this defense, look out.
I mean, I love teams that initiate with their midfield. Like, I just think the most vulnerable position on the field, maybe outside for Duke, is the D-middies. You'll be able to keep Owen Duffy, away from being that creator. Like, they didn't slide once. Like, Owen Duffy creates all kinds of chaos because he's so quick to get in the middle of the field. Teams slide, you're in trouble. Like, Duke's be like, you know what? Like, we trust our matchups. Don't cheat. We don't need any bluff slides. Like, if they get by you one-on-one, we got Jamison and Cage, like, we're going to be okay.